What's good, internet friends? Recently I put up a poll on Instagram about what you wanted to see in the next video, and a majority of you guys voted that you wanted to see a video about staying motivated to make art. This is something all artists struggle with, so it's only right that I share, some tips of what I do when I'm having a hard time staying motivated to make art. If this is something you're struggling with right now, hopefully you keep watching this video. We all as artists go through ups and downs, highs and lows, days where you're just like, why am I even doing this? Nobody cares. Nobody's paying attention to this great work that I'm making. Nobody's watching these videos that I spend so much time on. I'm literally trash, bruh.
Name calling is your only attack because you're too weak to challenge me any other way.
Look, as Erykah Badu once said, I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit, and sometimes we're sensitive Sallys, bruh. Just know you're not alone when dealing with them lows, man. We all must persevere and just continue chasing this dream, okay? We must, or else are we even living? I mean, really? All right, enough mushy shit. Let's get into what I be doing. And let's also get back to watching this process video while you listen to what I be doing. So when I'm struggling with motivation sometimes, I realize that I might be mentally fatigued from either working too much or comparing myself to other artists who seem to be pumping out 4 masterpieces a day, which is never a good idea or a good habit, whether it be comparing yourself to others or overworking.
Up to the edge of my limits and beyond, but you've been born with a natural talent far beyond my own. No amount of training could have closed the gap between us.
Now, when I come to this realization that I might be mentally fatigued, I take a break from social media and art, meaning and making art, and I consume media that stimulates me in a positive and inspiring way. For example, recently I was feeling low and unmotivated to work on any of my art projects. And the first thing I did was get off Instagram because seeing other artists being super productive can be depressing sometimes. And I just chilled out that day and watched the movie Blade Runner 2049. I mean, look at these shots. I love this movie. I think that it's very visually pleasing and it's a source of inspiration for me. Watching it definitely gets my creative juices flowing and simultaneously gets me motivated. That would be an example of media that can be positive and inspiring at the same time. So I highly recommend that artists not beat themselves up, take a break, watch your favorite movie, open up a comic book that you enjoy, watch your favorite anime, listen to music, or watch a TV show. Unless it's the show Lost, then you'll be on your couch for like 72 hours, only to finish with disappointment in both the show and yourself, or so I've heard. Now, if you do all of that and you still feel shitty or unmotivated, then it's time to reflect on 2 things. The first thing is, you just gotta remind yourself why you even do this. Why do you make art? That question always serves as a powerful anchor, because usually the answer is that you do it because you love it and it's your passion. At least that's my answer when I ask myself this. Me and my guy Alvin Surreal talked about this in a recent interview we did, which y'all should check out, by the way. He mentioned, like, if he was on an island stranded, there was no internet, there was nothing to do, he would still be out here drawing. And I would too. I also think about special moments in my art journey that made me feel like I was meant to do this. We've all had some type of, positive moment that keeps you going, and sometimes you gotta reminisce on those moments. The second thing you should reflect on is the last 6 months of your art journey, and think of all of the small wins you had that you didn't sit back and celebrate because you just kept working through them. We all do this too often. We make a sale and we keep it pushing. You know, we get props or some love from an artist we really admire, and we just keep working through it. You get a nice comment from a supporter who's been holding you down for years, and we just carry on. But them negatives, them haters, you be harping on those, don't you? Man, them shitty comments, like you think about those, the low moments where you put something out and nobody responded or whatever, like you do something that you just weren't proud of. You think about those for weeks and months and far too long. And sometimes you got to stop that. You need to like think back on the positives, like celebrate those wins as small as they are. Reflect on them, reminisce on them. Think back on those, small wins, like what you have accomplished. Think about what you have finished. Just any small wins you had, like now is the time to kind of think back on them, or else you never will. You'll just keep focusing on negative shit. So you need to set aside time to celebrate small wins. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do better with this. Like, I recently sold more merch than I've ever sold before, and you just kind of keep working through it. You're like, oh, I gotta get more. I gotta push more out. Blah blah blah. And it's like, wait, this is a milestone. It might be a small one, still a milestone. These wins will help remind you why you even do this. I mean, we don't do it for the wins, but I'm just saying, sometimes you got to think back about the small wins. We all have small wins that we don't focus on. The last thing that I personally do when I'm having trouble staying motivated to make art is I like to watch an interview of my favorite artist. This can be your favorite musical artist or visual artist or literally any type of artist. Chances are there's a big artist you look up to or admire, and chances are they've done some type of interview with some type of publication, podcast, journalist, etc. Personally, Hebrew Brantley is one of my favorite artists. He's probably my biggest art influence. He's also an artist from Chicago that I encourage you guys to check out. He's huge. And I feel like when I watch a Hebrew Brantley interview and listen to him talk about his grind to success, I'm immediately like gassed up to work and just like ready to go. Like, oh, well, duh, that's why you're not, doing this or that. You gotta be like Hebrew. And it helps, it works every time. So look, these are just the things that work for me to kind of get me gassed up again, to get me motivated again, to get back to work. They're just things that work for me. Hopefully they work for you as well. Hopefully you heard something new, or you were reminded of something you already do and you're gonna do more of it now to keep yourself motivated. So yeah. I hope you found value in this. And if you did or didn't, let your boy know in the comments. Let me know what you're dealing with out here. So you're here all the way at the end of the video. Think you deserve a cookie? Huh? JK, shout out to all the patrons, yo. Just had to include that in at the end. Y'all are great. I hope to see more of you. But yeah, shout out to y'all, man. I appreciate you.